everybody, thank you so much for coming back to my channel and thank you for joining me today on this painting process video. I wanted to show you this painting that I recently finished and just how I did it. This time I did transfer the drawing on the panel because I guess it depends. Sometimes I'm very scared and sometimes I feel very confident. I always try to not transfer it and just paint it directly, but sometimes sometimes I'm very coward, and it's okay, but truthfully I will always recommend to paint directly. I'm starting the process with a portrait, of course, and a basic layer of, it's not burnt sienna, it's actually transparent oxide brown. And I'm just trying to lay like the basic values and colors of the portrait. Even though I went through a lot of ugly stages, but once I get the portrait correctly, I can finally move on to the other things. The thing is that it's just very small. It was so tiny, you know. I had such a hard time making those tiny little details like that. I was using the edge of a very small brush. And every time that I put a paint on, I would wipe it off with a paper towel so it wouldn't get muddy. So it took me a very, very long time. And once I feel like I have the portrait correctly or properly done with the values and some shapes, I try to paint around what's around it because I'm trying to paint wet on wet or a la prima technique. So I don't want to paint anything that is on the outsides really, because I want to be able to move that paint around when it's wet. And I'm also trying to experimenting with my style because I love the impressionistic style of Sargent and Zorn, but I also love the more, I guess you could call it more, it's not illustration, but it's more painterly of Richard Smith, and I was trying to blend those two together and try to find something that I like too. So this is why maybe it's a little bit more different than the other paintings. Nonetheless, I love both styles or different styles, and I guess it depends on what you're going for. I wanted to force myself to do more finished pieces because sometimes I find a comfort in the impressionistic and not redefining it. And even though sometimes that works wonderfully, some others I kind of want to push it a little bit more. And even with this piece, I left a lot of space, a lot of white space, because I didn't really want to mess with it a lot more. But slowly with each piece is like a battle scene, and that's when you make the decisions of if you want to go where or if I even recorded it. I could have sworn that I did, but I can't find it on any of my SD cards. So here's the finished piece, and now after, I would say maybe a week or two, or a week and a half, it was fully dried, and I was able to use the Gamvar varnish. And this one is the perfect varnish because you can add it when the paint is dry to the touch. It's not like those old thick varnishes. And this is the final piece. I hope you liked it, and I actually feel quite proud of it, especially because it was something different, and in each piece I find something even more beautiful than the last one about painting. I just love it. Thank you so much once again, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye bye. Mwah.